the courtyard of justice. And when will I get to see justice in my case? That's a good question, and a lot of people need to ask of themselves what their intentions were when attempting murder the fourth Monday of January 2011, when I thought it was the last night of my life. And we have cops that show up as if they're on the Andy Griffith Show, just shuffling their feet and whistling along. Like, oh, well, let's see here. So therein lies a very disturbing problem. And then to be harassed relentlessly ever since by all kinds of different groups of people who practice hate crimes. And for people to know my personal business, which would indicate, oh God, smells a little bit too much like reefer. So anyway, if people knew that it didn't really work, but we'll let it go, since it's natural. To indicate that people knew my business. And how did they know my business? Today I have a better understanding of how it could have happened, but during 2011, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, we'll go up to 2017 when I began to learn about people with higher capabilities than the rest of us. Like, most of us are middle class, or even upper middle class, or lower middle class, or in poverty or what have you. And such folks might not know, they wouldn't know what higher level people are capable of doing, and often higher level people just happen to have more money. So they are supposed to take their positions seriously because they have a high responsibility to do the right thing, and not fake doing the right thing by putting down mats in front of a yoga studio saying do the right thing when they didn't do the right thing. So I don't care how undercover they thought they were. Florida. So you just do the right thing. Technically, yoga studio owners don't get to rank as high level as the people I'm talking about. So a lot of people are fed. See that radio tower? There's a radio tower up there on the Claridge. There's another radio tower on the Pico building, which is off in that direction, over on like 23rd and Market, northwest corner, and so forth and so on. And there's cell phone towers on 1845, a building here that kind of resembles from a distance one of the World Trade Center towers, albeit this one's a lot shorter. But the lines, like sort of how the windows are and the columns, or however it's built, kind of resembles from a distance what World Trade Center 1 and 2 or what have you look like. There's some cell phone towers on top of the Savoy building here. So all of these things can be used by people who are a lot higher level than the rest of us, the schmest of us. So, and they, in a way, they could spy-ish on you and get information about you. So if you walk down the street and, 500 people, 10 of whom are wearing a shirt which on the back says, "Game on," and you're like, oh my God, please don't play the game today, whatever it is. Just let me get through this day in peace, all those people would be fed information, and they would spew this out in conversation, which makes it seem like they know your business. Some of these people know they're fed. They are conscious enough, and they are high-ish enough up there in the intel world to know that someone's feeding them information. Some of them think they're supposed to say certain words or talk about certain topics while projecting their voices at a coffee shop while you're sitting there so that you can be irritated by them. And also creeped out because they know your personal business. Now we know why Donald Trump doesn't always make sense necessarily when he talks, because he will pick and choose what to say based on what's floating in the airwaves. That's what it seems like. So, the liberal elites or whatever are frustrated because he doesn't make any logical sense when he speaks. And he's supposed to make these points, and he's all over the place because it would seem that there's information floating around, and he picks up on that information and will spew it out, maybe for intel purposes. I have no clue what's going on there. Some people say they will there are people who get fed such good information that they will try to hide what they're fed so that they look dumber than they actually are, or you know what I mean? They don't want people to know how much information they're fed. So do I want to go straight or do I want to go round? Okay. So anyway, I know that sounds like a lot of hogwash to people, and technically it would be considered, you know, information that's not supposed to be well known, but what happened to me was so heinous and so bad and went on for so many years while people desperately need a target to appear schizophrenic, crazy, this, that, or the other, when really they need to abuse people. And usually what they do works, except this time around, because whoops, we are in they're using staple guns over there, or nail guns on the planks of wood at Smallville. So, but it can sound like a shot, you know what I mean? And that's been going around. People sort of making sounds to make you wonder if someone would come along and start shooting people up. That actually became like a thing around here. So, so anyway, I'm told I really can use this.